शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष मां 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 शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष मां
श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् शारदा शारदाम्बोज वदना वदनाम्बुजे सर्वदा सर्वदा अस्माकं सन्निधिं सन्निधिं क्रियात् भारती करुणापत्रं भारती पदभूषणं भारती पदमारुढं भारती तीर्थमाश्रये विद्या विनय संपन्न वीतराहं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदांत तत्त्वज्ञं विदुशेखर भारतीं Sadguru Charnarundabhya Mama. Thank you all for coming again for the next session of Panchadasi. This is part of the Vande Vidya Shankaram program. Mami, please take it away. Sharadamba, take it away. Thank you.
Thank you. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Samasta Jana Kalyane निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् नमः श्री शंकरानंद गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलास महामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणे. So we'll try to chant 91 to 95. सतो विवेचिते वन्नौ मिथ्यात्वे सति वासिते आपोदशांशतो न्यूनाः कल्पिता इति चिन्तयेत् सन्त्योमुशून्यतत्त्वः सशब्दस्पर्शसंयुताः रूपवत्योऽन्यधर्मानुवृत्त्या स्वीयो रसो गुणः सतो विवेचिता स्वप्सु तन्मिथ्यात्वे च वासिते भूमिर्दशांशतो न्यूना कल्पिताप्सिवति चिन्तयेत् कल्पितास्ति चिन्तयेत् अस्ति भूरत. This is not very clear, huh? अस्ति भूस्तत्त्वशून्यास्यां शब्दस्पर्शासरूपकौ रसश्च परतो गन्धो तेजः सत्ता विविच्यताम् पृथक्कृतायां सत्तायां मिथ्यावशिष्यते भूमेर्दशांशतो न्यूनं ब्रह्माण्डं भूमिमध्यगम्. We are done up to that. So in this we had seen how, the first thing that we did was Sadeva Saumyedamagra Asit. From there we started. Sat alone was there. And from that, all these one by one, Akasha, Vayu, etc. have come one by one. But how each subsequent element we knew is only 1/10 of the earlier element. That's what we had done last time. It's only 1/10. And how each one has its own unique property and the properties of the Karana. Whatever was previous, it will have its own. Except for Akasha. Because Akasha is the first one that comes out. It doesn't have anything except that Sat. That alone. Akasha does not have an element for its Karana. So nothing else. So it comes directly from Maya. So thus giving us the comprehensive understanding of the element and showing how Maya is Nistattva, or there is no Tattva in it. Tattva Shunya it was called. That is also there in all the elements, and how the Adhisthana of Maya is Sat. From Sat only that Maya has come. That is present as existence in all elements. Whatever elements come out, existence is a common factor. And therefore, the existence of all the elements is possible, is only, and it's going on. Whatever we have done is that even though existence is seen in an element, the fact is that actually the element is in existence. The element are inexistent, but we are saying that, it is existence is an element. So we also feel that there is space there. we say there is space here. But actually, here is in space. We say that the room has got space. We say like that. This room has got space. But actually speaking, the room is in space. The space was always there. The room was built later. How we get tuned to different kinds of saying, but we don't understand what was first. So, similarly, it is not that all these elements are having existence, but it is in existence that all these elements are there. So, making existence as the adhara, if you remember the words that we used, because it's only once a month we forget all those words. And all the above elements are called as adheya. Adhara and adheya. And once we establish this adhara adheya relationship, like the conclusion follows. And that we have said many times before. It's again, we will just go through that because that's the crux of the whole thing. This adhara and adheya being different, adheya is different from sat. Now, making adheya not sat. And since it is perceived, the adheya, we said that it was mithya. And it is natural because nistatva or tattva shunya, absence of reality or being free of existence, which is there in Maya, it continues to go to all other elements. In other words, Maya is there in all elements. We have seen that the tattva shunya or nistatva is there everywhere. That continues. So, making all the elements finally as mithya. We said all the elements are mithya only. So, that's what we had said till verse number 95, first line. Then in the second line then of the 95th shloka, went on to say that 1/10 of the bhumi is this Brahmanda. The bhumi tattva. Bhumi means bhumi tattva. That's what we had done last time. Only 1/10 of that is this Brahmanda. Ayyo. What is this Brahmanda? What does this consist of? The Brahmanda consists of 14 lokas. Brahmanda consists of 14 lokas. 7 worlds are considered to be higher and 7 worlds are considered to be lower worlds. Now, Bhumi, Bhu is supposed to be one of the higher worlds. So, each of these 14 worlds, they say there are many Brahmandas like how. So, we can just imagine one Brahmanda contains 14 worlds. And the entire Brahmanda, if you analyze, only 1/10 of the Bhumi Tattva is one Brahmanda. So it's just mind-boggling mathematics. So we can imagine what the expanse of that Bhumi Tattva will be. So big. And that Bhumi Tattva is only 1/10 of the Apa, that is water. Apa Tattva is 1/10 more. This is 1/10 of that. So, Brahmanda is gross, and once you go to Bhumi Tattva, it becomes, subtle, Tanmatra. And the Apa Tattva, that is the water element, is only 1/10 of Agni Tattva. Like that, mathematics just goes on. And the Agni Tattva is only 1/10 of Vayu Tattva. And that Vayu Tattva is only 1/10 of Akasha Tattva. That's all in Tanmatras. So, Akasha Tanmatra comes from the Maya. So, that is only 1/10 of Maya. And Maya is insignificant in the expanse of the Brahman. Brahman. So we can just imagine what Brahman is. So it is also said that when we have already said that ekam shena sthito jagat, in Bhagavad Gita it comes like that. Vishtabhyaham idam krishnam. As Paramatma, Lord Krishna says that only one small part of me is this world. So that means that the world is so insignificant compared to the Paramatma, how big he is. We just have to imagine. So we can see the insignificance of the world, which we think is so big. For us, the world means so big. So in this way, it has been explained about Brahmanda. Up to that, we had come last time when we ended. Now, in Brahmanda, we said there are the 14 lokas. And we are in that one loka called Bhuloka is ours. So, let us see what there is in Brahmanda. That's what is said in the 96th verse. 96. ब्रह्मांड मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति भुवनानि चतुर्दश. ब्रह्मांड मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति भुवनानि चतुर्दश. भुवनेषु वसन्त्येषु प्राणिदेहा यथा यथम्. भुवनेषु वसन्त्येषु प्राणिदेहा यथा यथम्. Together. ब्रह्मांड मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति भुवनानि चतुर्दश. भुवनेषु वसन्त्येषु प्राणिदेहा यथा यथम्. ब्रह्मांड मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति भुवनानि चतुर्दश. भुवनेषु वसन्त्येषु प्राणिदेहा यथा यथम्. All right. Now, Bhuvanani Chaturdasha, we can understand. There are 14 worlds. 14 worlds. Tishtanti. Tishtanti means there are. Okay. Tishtanti, no, normally we say stand. But here it means there are 14 worlds. When we say 14 Brahmanda Madhye, in this Brahmanda, within this Brahmanda, within this expanse called as Brahmanda, in that there are 14 worlds. So, 14 worlds are the main worlds. There are all these chota worlds also. Okay, if we start counting all of them, our mind will be boggling. It's just mind boggling. We cannot understand. So, 14 main important worlds. That's what they say. So, even if you take Gandharva Loka, for example, what is Gandharva Loka? Gandharva Loka itself is inhabited by 2 types of Gandharvas, it seems. Gandharvas are also different types. So, there are Manushya Gandharvas and there are Deva Gandharvas. So, and then, there are all these Kinnaras, Gandharvas and Kinnaras, we have heard of that. So, Kim Nara, that's why it's called as Kim. Are they men? No, are they human beings like that? So, Kim Purusha, Yaksha, all these beings are all in Kinnara Loka. So, like that, there are different varieties of beings also in that one world. So, when we say 14 lokas, these are the important worlds. There are other subsidiary lokas also. So, we say, Pluto, when we say it's not a loka, it's part of Bhuloka. So like that, there are parts to the main. So there are so many worlds. The Chandra Loka, that according to our Puranas, is supposed to be double that of Surya Loka. Double that. So in Shastra, when we speak of Surya Loka, it's not the Surya that we see, because the description given in Shastra is that the Chandra Mandala is double the Surya Mandala. That cannot be what we see as moon and sun. No? So the mandalas are different. We have no idea. No? So definitely this Chandra Mandala is not twice the Surya as we see. As we see right now. It doesn't look like that. And it is said that in Chandraloka, the beings which are there are made up of water body, up Sharira, it is called. In Chandramandala, the beings are made with water bodies and they are shining. So these are all different descriptions that are given. So many descriptions are given. This Brahmanda is a place where all kinds of beings live. We have no clue. So that's why all these different movies that we get, they're all okay. Who knows? Everything is available. And it is very difficult to comprehend. We cannot even understand what it is. Because these are not, in our perception. We can't even imagine. So, even in this Bhuloka, there are so many things which we cannot understand. What to talk of other lokas? They say that there are, all these snakes which have got ultraviolet infrared vision, isn't it? So, we have no idea what the snake world looks like. It must be totally different. So, mind-boggling. So, we don't know how the world will look from an amoeba standpoint. How will it look? You can just only imagine. It will be so different. So, ants have, it seems, they only have one single dimension. The world is made of only single dimension. So, all these are complicated, no? So, now that's why we say 14 important worlds are there that we know. All right. So, what are in these worlds? So, remember, Mars, actually, in this analysis becomes only Bhuloka. It will come under Bhuloka. So, in Vedanta, in Vedantic language, that's what we are talking. So, what is there is Bhuvana. So, is it just some kind of matter with no being? So, now, no, that's not true. So, it says, Eshu Bhuvaneshu Vasanti. In these worlds reside, live. Who live? Prani Dehaha. Prani Dehaha means different kinds of beings. Different kinds of beings reside in these worlds. If you take Bhuloka, then the creations are supposed to be 4 types. 4 types of creations in this Bhuloka that we live. What are the 4 types? One is those that are born from eggs. That's called as Andaja. The next is Shvedaja. Shvedaja means that which is born out of, like, perspiration, they say. Like mosquitoes, all those, which come from the germs, etc. Next is Udbija. Udbija means those which come from the bija, from the seeds, like plants. Plants and trees. Then Jarayuja is what we are. We come from the wombs, mammals. So these are the creatures, 4 different creatures in Bhuloka. But it seems in other worlds there are different kinds of dehas. So we already talked about about water deha. We have talked about that. In Surya Loka, it seems the beings are supposed to be Jyotirmaya Sharira. Yeah? The bodies are of Jyotirmaya. So, and then in Bhuvarloka, the creatures are supposed to have Vayu, Vayavya Sharira, it is called. Vayu Pradhana. What is main thing in our body? In our body, it is Prithvi. Prithvi is main. The grossness is because of the Prithvi. That is the element. And the Bhuta Preta Pishacha, all those things are supposed to be Vayu Sharira, Vayavya Sharira, it is called. Okay? So, for the maintenance of the Sharira, the food also will be different in each place. Yeah? So, in each of these bhuvana, the anna and the pana, the food and the drink, is different. Huh? We all are told that the Devata's pana is Amritam. We all know that, So, like that. The Shastras talk about also different oceans. It's just mind-boggling again. One ocean is supposed to be Milky Ocean. We have heard of that. One ocean is the juice of sugarcane. That will be so nice, you can just keep on drinking. So we have no idea, we with our brain, we cannot even understand all this. So even in this Bhuloka, it seems there is an ocean where things can go inside. Huh? I mean, they don't go inside. They all stay up. They don't go inside. It's all like we don't know what it is. So, we all know all the oceans that we know are of salt, but there is one special, more salt. We don't know which one is the most salt. All these things, and one is supposed to be honey ocean. That will be very good. Yeah. So, and there is one supposed to be fiery ocean. We don't know. So, Bhuvaneshu Eshu Vasanti Prani Dehaha. In these bhuvanas, in these different worlds, different pranis, different creatures live. Yatha Yatham. Yatha Yatham means according to their own karmas. Whatever their karmas are, according to that, they live in these different worlds. Yatha karma, yatha shrutam. Now, means they exist in diversity, different bodies. They are called, some dehas are called adhama deha. Adhama deha, means the least understanding is possible in that body. Then some are called as madhyama deha. In the madhyama deha, you get a little bit more than the adhama. But then uttama deha, that uttama deha, knowledge is possible completely. That's the most. Yeah. So that's why it's called as uttama, the best deha. So in some worlds, we have beings which have greater capacity of knowledge. In some worlds, lesser capacity of knowledge. So it's called as yatha yatha. So yatha karma, yatha shrutam. So diversity is caused because of their own karma, because of what they have done in the previous births. According to that, they are born in that different worlds. Yatha karma, yatha shrutam. So according to their action, according to their tendency, shrutam means as per your knowledge, means as per your inclinations. You are born according to whatever your inclinations are. So we get our bodies because of our inclinations and according to our actions. So that's why, we have to be careful in this life that we use our brain and we use all our faculties that are given, so that we'll get again, the same kind of great human birth where there is a possibility of getting realized. So inclinations will determine our future interest and movement where we go. So we have to be very careful not to go down in our upward journey. So actions determine our future joy or sorrow, punya, papa, and all that. So punya, papa, as we know, is governed by our karma and our predominant taste and wishes and wants. They are determined by our previous vasanas. We all know this. So previous knowledge pool you have gained, which that knowledge, whatever is the strongest vasana and strongest knowledge, according to that. So that is the meaning of yatha shrutam. Yeah? So, and also yatha yatham. As we have sown, so we reap. So now from bhutattva, we said 1/10 of it is the Brahmanda. And we said in Brahmanda there are Chaturdhasha Bhuvana. There are 14 worlds. And in each there are different prani deha. Different bodies are there. And we also added that their annapana, that is whatever they eat and drink, are different accordingly. That is, sustenance is different. So now, what is the point of all this discussion? Why are we discussing this? Because our final topic is Sat. Remember that. So, all this Brahmanda and all these Bhuvanas that are all the worlds in the Brahmanda, all these different bodies, Prani Deha, all the Annam, Panam, whatever eating and drinks and all that, all of them are only Mithya, finally. That's what we are trying to say. How are they Mithya? Because once upon a time we said they are all Adheya. Yeah? So the Sat alone is the Adhara. The substratum is Sat. On that all these things are there. So they are all Adheya only. And that is what is being explained in the 97th verse. Yeah? So we go to the 97th verse. Brahmandalokadehesu Sadvastuni prithak-krite Brahmandalokadehesu Sadvastuni prithak-krite Asantondadayo bhantu Tadbhane piha kakshatihi Asantondadayo bhantu Tadbhane piha kakshatihi. Together. Brahmandalokadeheshu Sadvastuni prithak-krite Asantondadayo bhantu Tadbhane piha kakshatihi. Brahmandalokadehesu Sadvastuni prithak-krite Asantondadayo bhantu Tadbhane piha kakshatihi. Brahmanda Loka Deheshu. So, in the Brahmanda Lokas, wherein are these various dehas, all the bodies are there. In the Brahmanda, all the bodies are there. Satvastuni prithak-krite. In that, when the existence have been differentiated, Sat is this and all the other things are here. When you differentiate the pure existence from the Brahmanda, which is the lokas and all the dehas, when you understand that the Sat is far larger than the Brahmanda. Why? Because Brahmanda is only 1/10 of the Bhu. Sat is pervading the Bhutattva, which is Tanmatra, in its Tanmatra. Bhu Tanmatra is only 1/10 of the Jala Tanmatra. Even in Jala Tanmatra, you have Sat. Everywhere there is Sat. When you look at the whole thing, you understand that the Sat is the Adhara and the Brahmanda, Deha, Loka, everything put together is only a small bit, it is only Adheya in this Brahmanda. So, Sat is the Adhara and everything, Brahmanda, etc., are all Adheya only. So, in this way, Prithak Krite, Prithak means separate, differentiating. When you differentiate the Adhara from the Adheya, then the Adheya will become false. We have done that many times before. So, by the same logic, because of the Adheya becoming false, Asantaha Andadayaha Bhantu means Brahmanda. Brahmanda, all the lokas, all the dehas, all of them become asanta. Asanta means not sat. Not sat is called as asant. So, why not sat? Because it is adheya. Because it is adheya, not adhara. Bhantu. Bhantu means, okay, let it appear. It doesn't bother us. Being false, but it appears. Let the Brahmanda, let all the lokas, all the creatures, let them all appear. Tad bhani api. Even after seeing all of them as false, they're all appearing in front of us. They're all there. Tad bhane api iha kachatihi. Means, even after knowing that Sat is the Adhara and the entire Brahmanda is false, still the Brahmanda appears. Bhuloka appears, and in this Bhuloka, Bapre, how many things, the mountains, the rivers, the ocean, Appa, there are just so many things, the beings, everything appears. So, here Vidyaranyaji says, let it appear. Let it be. So, what is the loss for us? Let it be like that. Sat bhane api iha means in this Brahman, in Sat only all these are appearing. Kakshatihi. Kakshatihi means what is the loss? What do we gain or what do we lose by that? Let it be. So many Brahmandas are born. Within these Brahmandas, so many stars, so many black holes, and then so many planets. Everything is there. Galaxies colliding. And then one galaxy is stealing another galaxy stars. We see all this. So they speak of some binary stars. You just know so many things are there. So many complexities are happening. Beautifully, they are all beautifully frightening. That's how they say. It's all happening. Kakshatihi. What is the loss? Why are you getting so, bogged down by all this? Because all our sciences, all that we do is only about all those things which are impermanent. What is permanent, we are not looking at. So, then you say, there is no loss to us, nothing. So, this is just an example. When you sneeze like that, do we say, so much of my saliva, so much of my air, everything has gone. Do we start feeling bad about it? No, it has gone. Good. So something like that. Yeah. So the whole thing is so false, utterly false. So let it go. Is there any loss to any given, or any gain because of that? Nothing. So don't get bogged down by all this. Because there is no gain, there is no loss also. The pure existence, the Sat, remains as substratum. It remains untouched, regardless of all the other changes that are happening. So this is what is there in all the in all different bhashyas that you see, in Adhyasa Bhashya, No, all those things we are not going into. So let the Brahmandas rise, but let them come, let them go along with your Deha also. Deha comes, Deha goes, Deha stays here for some time, goes away. Many Dehas have come. We all know. All the Dehas have come, they have gone. Let them go. Every day we hear, no? So and so is born, and then the same day we hear so and so is gone. That's the way it is. The world is like that. Kakshatihi. What is the loss? Huh? So this way, the knowledge has become now firm. So what is it that you gain from all this? So now he is saying in the 98th verse, what is it that we have to learn from this? 98th verse. भूतभौतिकमायानाम् असत्त्वेत्यन्तवासिते भूतभौतिकमायानाम् असत्त्वेत्यन्तवासिते सद्वस्त्वैतमिथ्येषा धीः विषयेन विपर्येन क्वचित्. Okay, so सद्वस्त्वैतमित्येषा धीर्विषयेति धीर्विपर्येति क्वचित्. In English, it is much better, no? In Sanskritam, it is not. Sadvastvadvaitamityesha dhirviparyeti na kvachit bhutabhautikamayānam asatvetyantavasite sadvastvaita. Am I saying right? Sadvastvadvaitamityesha dhirviparyeti na kvachit. All right. So, bhuta bhautika mayanam. Okay. Now, bhuta bhautika mayanam. In the Pancha Mahabhutas, the five tanmatras, five tanmatras, bhautika, what has been created from the bhutas, bhuta karya, bhuta effects of the bhutas. What are the effects of the bhutas? Effect of the bhuta is this whole Brahmanda. The Brahmandas come from all these bhutas. Now, a little more, if you want to understand, you can add even the Sukshma Prapancha is also included. So all the the effects of all sattva. I hope you all remember, we had said from sattva, all the antakarana and the jnanendriyas are created. Long time ago we have done, and all the rajas karya. What are the effects of the rajas? That is all the karmendriyas. I hope you all remember, once upon a time we have done. So the entire prapancha, that is Maya. And so Maya, the tanmatras and the creations, that is the meaning of the Bhuta Bhautika Mayanam. Of all this, of all the Maya, the tanmatras, the creations of that, all this put together is called as Bhuta Bhautika Maya. Asatve Atyanta Vasite. When the falsehood, that is the Mithyatva, has been deeply ingrained in your mind, you have now understood everything is false. When it is pakka, when it is ingrained in you, then what happens is sadvastu advaitam. Then the sadvastu becomes Advaita. That alone is there. One without a second is understood when you understand all the rest of the creation is nothing but Maya alone. Iti esha dhihi. You get this understanding when you understand the whole thing. Atyanta vasite. Atyanta vasite means when that mithyatva, when the falsehood, everything is understood, then what happens? Viparyeti nachit. At no point in time, this kind of a knowledge will be falsified for you. Every time you see everything, you understand all this is only false. Only Sat alone, only God alone is there. All the rest of it is just Maya. That Sadeva Soumya Idamagra Asit, Ekameva Advitiyam will become Pakka. That's what he's trying to do in this whole series. Just trying to tell us whatever you see, you have to understand it is nothing but, only temporary. So then, Kvachita means never will you get deluded. He says you will never get deluded if you understand this. Na gurunapi vichalyate, like that in Bhagavad Gita we have said. So dukkhena api gurunapi vichalyate. So even with the greatest sorrow, one will not be shaken once you understand what you really are. In other words, you become a sthita prajna. So that is what the meaning of this slokam is. So what is the knowledge of sthita prajna? The knowledge of sthita prajna is ekameva advitiyam. One alone without a second. Sadeva soumya idamagra asit. Just sadeva soumya. Ekameva advitiyam. Sadvastu is advaitam. So, what about all the jagat? Mithya, immediately. There is no doubt about that. And then, how is it mithya? We all know it is all adheya. It is not adhara. The adhara is the satvastu. So, from this, when you become vasite, vasite means when it becomes a vasana. Atyanta vasana. Even when you see, then you do not get, perturbed by that. It's not, it's not reality. Then, in that case, then you become a sthita prajna by that. So, this is what is said in this. Yeah. So, slowly, the topic is building up by showing the mithyatva of all the 5 elements. We have done that. And based on the logic of Adhara, Adheya, Vidyaranyaji is explaining how the Brahmanda is also made up of 5 elements. All these things are only, again, Panchikrita Mahabhuta, all these things, So he's trying to tell us that everything is only mithya. That's what he's trying to tell us. So in this way, when the whole Vyavahara Satta, it is called, has been reduced to falsity, then what will happen to the jnani who has understood this? How will he function in this world? See, there is a story of this, supposed to be the so-called jnani. Okay, he's not a real jnani. So, he is just told in the class, everything is Maya. Whatever you see is Maya. Don't get carried away by this. So this guy is now jnani. Yeah, so he's walking on the road. And then somebody is shouting, we have told you this story. Somebody is shouting, there is a mad elephant coming. Please run, please run. So this jnani says, what mad elephant? It is Maya, And then he's walking. Everybody has run away and the whole road is empty. The mad elephant is coming. This silly fellow is just walking on the road. And what will the mad elephant do? Took him nicely and then put him in his trunk and threw him away, miles away. And all his bones are broken. He's fallen down. The teacher and all the other people come to collect him. Yeah. Then he looks at the teacher. You told me that everything is Maya. But then that elephant actually, broke all my, bones. So then he says, hey, everything is, Maya. then you are also Maya, then this is also nothing is true here, So we just know only half the story and then we just follow our own thing. So that's not what we have to know. So it says that having known it, then you behave like how you have to behave in this world. Okay. So now going to the 99th shloka. सदद्वैतात् पृथक् भूते द्वैते भूम्यादिरूपिणे सदद्वैतात् पृथक् भूते द्वैते भूम्यादिरूपिणी तत्तदर्थक्रियालोके यथा दृष्टा तथैव सा तत्तदर्थक्रियालोके यथा दृष्टा तथैव सा सदद्वैतात् पृथक् भूते द्वैते भूम्यादिरूपिणी तत्तदर्थक्रियालोके यथा दृष्टा तथैव सा सदद्वैतात् पृथक् भूते द्वैते भूम्यादिरूपिणी तत्तदर्थक्रियालोके यथा दृष्टा तथैव सा Sat Advaitat means the Sat which is Advaita. The Sat which is Advaita, which has been proved to be non-dual. That alone is there. Ekameva Advitiyam. No Swagata, no Sajatiya, no Vijatiya Bheda. That alone, the homogeneous thing is there. Akhandam. So, Dvaita Bhutanyadi Rupini Prithak. When all the duality consisting of the Bhumi, Apa, Anala, Vayu, Akasha, everything, the Brahmanda, Chaturdasha Bhuvana, the Deha, all the Anna, Pana, and cosmos, entire gross, entire subtle, everything put together, when it is differentiated, meaning when you have understood that Sat is the reality and the entire realm of this plurality is false. When you understand this, Yatha Loke Drishta, in the world, what the jnani, a person who is a jnani, what he saw before, tattadartha kriya, the respective, the functional, whatever the function of the objects are, functionality of the objects, tathaiva sa, after realization, what he saw as the functionality, it will be that alone. It will still be there. Means the Vyavaharika Satta of the world will remain as Vyavaharika Satta. Don't think it is different. Okay? Just because we have understood, it doesn't mean it's not there. Again and again, remember that elephant thing only. So, it will be an object of pramana, prameya, vyavahara, meaning your senses will continue to see the object. It will not go away. Everything will be there. There is no problem with respect to that. You can see that. Why? Because the senses also belong to the Vyavaharika world. We have to remember that. They are also Vyavaharika Satta only. The objects also belong to that same Vyavaharika Satta. And the senses being in the Vyavaharika Satta, it will do its own function. Whatever its function is, it will recognize all the objects which are also Vyavaharika Satta and which is also, in everything is Vyavaharika Satta, and all the transaction is only in that realm. And that will continue as it is. So even after realization, everything, because people always wonder, after realization, how will the world look? Will it look? No, nothing will be different. But you know in your heart, this is what it is. But it has to, a toothbrush has to be used as toothbrush only. Otherwise, now when I realize what will happen, nothing will happen. Yeah, you have to do the same thing. So it will continue as it is. There is not going to be any change. So do not think that because the jnani knows everything to be mithya, he will not see the wall and he will start walking and then bang his head. Yo, what happened? Oh, I didn't know. After all, this is just not real. Something like that. He cannot say like that. So we have to protect the jnani. Don't think like that. He will also see the same wall. So, because some people just imagine that when a person gets realized, what will happen? He may die. You don't know. So, there are so many different conceptions like that. People think like that. So, some person was meditating and then he got realized, suddenly fell down and died. If it is there, then who will want to get realized? None of us will want to. We say, Ayyo, realization means death. I don't want to get realized. Yeah. Tattadartha kriya tatha evasa. There is no change in his understanding. He will see everything same way. So, if, Swamiji was saying, if he is a South Indian Mahatma, he will still ask for idli sambar only. Because now he has realized, will he become different? No. And if he is a North Indian Mahatma, he will ask for a paratha, whatever. So that will be like that only. So the Jnani world will remain as it was before because the world is Vyavaharika. It's all like transactional world. So that's how it is. So that being the case means the world being this Vyavaharika Satta, the truth of the world is only Vyavaharika. The Advaitin does not have too much of insistence upon various philosophies. Okay, doesn't matter. There will be different theories. Let it be. He does not get bogged down by that. We don't fight with others. Hey, why are you thinking like that? No. In this Vyavaharika Satta, anything is possible. So he is not antagonistic to any of the thoughts. So all of these things are allowed in this Vyavaharika Satta. He does not meddle with anything. Yeah. So let us do the 100th one and then finish it. It's 5:54. So we can take one more and then we'll see. Sankhyakanada Bauddhayaihi Bauddhadyaihi Sankhyakanada Bauddhadyaihi Jagat Bhedo Yatha Yatha Utprekshate no Ut Utprekshate Nekayuktya Bhavatvesha Tatha Tatha Sankhyakanada Bauddhadyaihi Jagat Bhedo Yatha Yatha Utprekshate Nekayuktya Bhavadvesha Yatha Tatha Tatha Sankhyakanada Bodhadyaihi Jagadbhedo Yatha Yatha Utprekshate Nekayuktya Bhavatvesha Tatha Tatha. The only philosophy that takes you above Vyavaharika Satta is the Advaita. The Advaita is that alone. All the other realms of thought keep you in Vyavaharika Satta. Then you will always have differences. So, and at best, what they will do is that they will try to describe, the duality, the world of duality. So their function is not to take you beyond that, to help to transcend, but better understand this Vyavaharika world. So only Advaita can take you beyond this. The philosophy of Sankhya. Now, if you are talking of, anything like, like our subjects like biology, or chemistry, physics, whatever you talk of, these these days subject is Sankhya. So they talk of the three gunas and they explain how three gunas manifested in this world. We have explained in the Advaitic way, and they have some little differences. It is not the theory of creation of Sankhya exactly same as Advaitin. It's a little bit different because the Advaitin also speaks of three gunas and how they come from elements. But there are few differences there, you know. So they try to explain the whole world as a manifestation of three gunas. Sankhya speak of the pradhana or the prakriti, purusha prakriti. You must have heard all this. The prapancha comes from the three gunas. And then it says here, Kanada is, the Vaisheshikas. They are the Kanadas. Kanada was the founder. He was not Kanada, Kanada. So his name was Kanada. So then it's called as Kanada. So in Tamil, Kanada means not seen. But then this is a name. So Kanada means the philosophy which was founded by Kanada, the Vaisheshika philosophy. They also describe this world in as made up of 7 padarthas. Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samanya, Vishesha, and then Samavaya, Abhava. They talk like the different things. They have a explanation of this world. If you ask a chemistry person, he will explain in his own way with the periodic chart. He will bring that. If you ask a botany person, in his own, dicotyledon or, something, he will talk monocotyledon, we don't know. Physics person, he will have his own electron, proton, neutron, his own theory. Everybody will have. So, each one is right in their own way, isn't it? So, there is no one theory, no problem anywhere, each one from his own way. These philosophies also explain in their own capacity and knowledge. So, everybody has different theories which they have, like Jagat Bhedaha Sankhya Kanada Bauddhadhyaihi. Means Bauddha means the Buddhistic schools of thought. Then, you all must have heard Chanika Vijnana, it's called. Yeah. So they explain in one particular way. They explain that world is nothing but mind only. The world is mind only. Mind is the ultimate reality for them. So there are Shunyavadins. You must have heard about Shunyavadins. The ultimate reality, they say, everything appears. Nothing, like how in deep sleep there is nothing, no? So they say that's how. Nothing is the ultimate truth. Shunya. There are so many different, the Chanika Vijnanavadin, there are so many different, all these people have postulated a particular world structure in their own way, very logically. So he says, let it be. Bhavatu esha tatha tatha. Let what they have presented, let it be as it is. Meaning, you don't have to have any problem with that. Each one can explain. So Vyavaharika Satta has been presented in different ways. We have no objection. There will always be some discrepancy. No problem. Nobody can say that only I have the answer to all with the respect to world, only I have the answer. Knowledge, after all, is a journey. So, an illogical world cannot have a logical explanation. Okay, at the end. So, this is all the, the encompassing spirit of all the, Advaitin, that he is able to accommodate everything. And Advaitin says, okay, this is also okay, that's also okay. So, there is no philosophy, no other philosophy can say like that. Because Ours is Advaita. Okay? So, for an Advaitin, the world is only a ladder to reality. It's a ladder. It does not have more importance than being a ladder. You use the ladder to go to a certain place, then you just kick the ladder out. You are there already. So the reality is reached through the analysis of the world, and that's the purpose of this analysis, nothing more. Yeah. So with that, we'll conclude for today. So we have done up to the 100th verse. Okay. So then we'll finish the whole thing next time, if possibly, hopefully, by God's grace. Okay. ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Thank you so much, Mami. It's so nice. I think the more and more we listen, the logic is so good. When you hear the Shravanam, they say, continue to hear the Shravanam so that you get the Chitta Shuddhi. Now more and more we hear this. He has gone through the Shravanam. He has understood things like Tattva Bodha, basics about understanding as what is Maya, Brahmashaya, with the Triguna, Maya, Asti, and all those things out there. And he talks beautifully also about the Panchikarnam. Now he has taken it, looks like Vidya, he has really taken it inside and he is doing Mananam. And together with that, he's explaining and putting it so beautifully for us that when we get the doubts, it's cleared already for us. It's such a grace he has given it to us, saying it's such a grace of him so that we can get the Chitta Ekagratam with this, right? Once this thing clears up, we can get that doubt goes away in our Mananam. So the idea is for us to continue to read this, get more Mananam inside, and that will help us to go to the next. Thank you so much, Mami. Very nice. It's very patiently, very well done. Thank you so much. We're enjoying it. Thank you. Dr. Jammunathan is there. Is there anything to add for you, or should I go for the finish?
Oh, Namaskar. Thank you so much. I think your comments were great, but I think today's summary, what I want to tell about what Sharada ji did is, Pratibhasika wakes up to Vyavaharika, Vyavaharika wakes up to Paramarthika. So the dreamer wakes up to the waking state and the waker wakes up to the absolute state. And today she was trying to wake us up from the waking state to the absolute state. I think that's the grand summary I can tell today. She was trying to wake us up from the deep slumber. Thank you, Sharada ji.
Thank you.
And there are more comments. We can wait. Let me go and finish that thing, and then we can start again. Thank you.
मंगलम गुरु श्री चंद्रमौलीश्वर के शक्ति गणपति शारदाम्बिके शंकराचार्य के शक्ति गणपति महागणपति शारदाम्बिके के काल भैरव के काली दुर्गई के वीर धीर शूर हनुम मारुति चरणतिके मल्लिकार्जुन के செல்வ ஜனார்தனர் கே அம்பா பவானி கம்பத கணபதி சண்டி சாமுண்டி கே ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ண பகவான் கே ஸ்ரீ சக்கரவாசினி கே சீதாராம லக்ஷ்மண சகித மாருதி சரணத்திற்கே வித்யாரண்யருக்கே विद्याशंकर के वागीश्वरी के वज्रदेग गरुड़ आंजनेयर के श्रीवल्ली देव सेना समेत सुब्रह्मण्यर के तुंगभद्रै के ஸ்ருங்கநிவாசினிக்கே ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிலைத்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே சச்சிதானந்த சிவ அபிநவ நிருசிம்ஹ பாரதிக்கே ஸ்ரீ சந்திரசேகர பாரதி குரு சார்வபௌமருக்கே श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु विद्या तीर्थर के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु भारती तीर्थर के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु विदुशेखर भारती के मंगलम गुरु श्री चंद्रमौलीश्वर के शक्ति गणपति शारदाम्बि शंकराचार्यर के शक्ति गणपति महागणपति शारदाம்பிகை के ஸ்ருங்கேரி புரியில் நிறைந்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே.
Thank you all. If there are again any questions, feel free to send it out at panchadasi@svbfnorth.org, the email. And if there are questions, I'll be happy to pass it on to Mami and we can get it answered. Thank you so much. If there are any questions,